Cathy. Oh my gosh. Good morning, everybody. So, for those of you who don't know who I am Reverend Michael Everett Davis. I am ordained as an interfaith minister. I was ordained through One Spirit Interfaith Seminary in New York. But here's the deal. I am taking classes at Unity, working towards a Unity ordination, which allows me to be the spiritual leader here at Unity of Indianapolis. And it is always my honor to serve here, as I have been serving here as music director and now as spiritual leader as well. So I'm going to tell on Todd for a second. Today is April 27th. You read March 30th, which was forgiveness. And we forgive you. Right? Today's daily word is freedom. Right? It's good too. And this is why I'm bringing it up. I didn't want to call you out. Thank you for that. But, thank you, yeah. But it was also important that I share today's daily word along with my talk. Because the first part of my talk was, from today's daily word. I'd be like, I thought it was freedom. So today's daily word is freedom. Spiritual living is my path to freedom. Looking back over the years, I remember the ways I have felt less than free. Maybe I felt limited because of my background or personal history, my education or career, or because of things others believed about me. Without even realizing, I may have taken on a limited view of myself and what was possible for my life. But discovering the truth of myself as a spiritual being, a beloved child of God, has healed my heart and freed my soul. My life circumstances are only part of my story. I am so much more than the sum total of my experiences. My freedom lies in God and in my understanding of myself as divine. As I grow in confidence, realizing I can change my life through the power of my thoughts, I grow more free. And from Psalm 119:45, I shall walk at liberty, for I have sought your precepts. So, from today's daily word, spiritual living is my path to freedom. I'm going to turn this on. Unity is a positive path for spiritual living. We attain freedom by complete surrender to the divine. By surrendering to the divine, we are free to fully express ourselves, as Cathy demonstrated so beautifully. Free to experience ourselves to creativity. We are no longer chained to the rigidity of the status quo, and we open ourselves to creativity, spontaneity, and joy. So in honor of Jazz Appreciation Month, I want to take a look at unity like jazz, which allows us the freedom to create an inspired human experience. So welcome to today's spiritual jam session. I hope you're enjoying it so far. All right? So, as I said, unity is a positive path for spiritual living. It's not a religion, right? So religion, the word religion, comes from the Latin. First, regulare, which means to bind. Two, religio, which is obligation, bond, and reverence. So originally, religion, the word religion, was a reference mostly for like monks in a seminary. So now, religion today has become more of a list of restrictive laws and dogmas attached to a specific faith tradition. All the faith traditions have their rules and their dogmas, and it's become a rigid religion. James Dillett Freeman, he used to be the poet laureate for Unity, which at the end of the service we do the prayer of protection, also written by him. Also on the front cover of your book, there's a blessing for a church, also written by James Dillett Freeman. But he wrote, "Unity is not a proselytizing religion. We are happy to have you call yourself a Unity student and join a Unity group, but we are also happy when we can help you be a better Methodist, a better Catholic, a better Wiccan, a better whatever it is you are, a better agnostic. It's just a better person overall. Whatever you are, Unity can help you." Whoops. I got it. Let me drive. All right. Inside joke from earlier this morning. All right. So why jazz? Right? Why jazz? So I looked up, so the Google AI overview for jazz says, "Jazz is a musical genre characterized by improvisation, syncopated rhythms, and a polyphonic ensemble playing style. Often with a strong emphasis on blues and blues-influenced elements, it is an American art form with roots in African American music, including blues, ragtime, and European harmonic tradition." So I would like to spotlight specifically the core element of improvisation. So improvisation, it's a core element of jazz. It is the spontaneous creation of melodies and harmonies by musicians, often building upon a pre-written framework. So one of the other things that I do in my life and what Ed does in his life is we do improvisational theater, or some call it improv comedy. Hopefully it's funny, but we also use improvisation in our other work with helping train medical students, nursing students, etc. So we use improv as a tool. And so jazz improv, I believe, relies on some of the same tools that we use in improvisational theater. So the first one is paying attention. We have to pay attention to what's going on in order to create a scene, or to create the illusion of our illness, or we have to pay attention in music to make sure that we are with our fellow musicians. Everyone. In music, jazz music, when you're with an ensemble, it's everybody. Everybody is participating. Everybody is important. Everybody has their part to share. The same with improvisational theater. We all work together. The next is acceptance. We have to accept what has just happened. You can't go back and fix it. So what happened, you go on and you accept it, and it's great. You also accept whatever is given to you. If in a jazz ensemble, the trumpet player decides, I'm taking a solo now, you accept that and you let the trumpet player take the solo. All right? The next I'm going to talk about is commitment. Commitment is important because you have so many people relying on you, but if you don't commit to what you're doing, it's just not going to happen, right? And then enthusiasm. You got to have enthusiasm. You got to have enthusiasm for what you do in life, right? If you don't have enthusiasm, I'll just stay home and watch TV, right? So these tools allow for more freedom, for a more free form for the music to be played, more free form for creation, to be creative. So now I'm going to look at classical music. I love classical music. Don't get me wrong with what I'm about to say. Again, today, big brushes. There's going to fill in the blanks for what works for you. In classical music, the music is written down, and you must follow it. Each instrument has its part that is written down, and you follow it. And then you have your part that you play when you are supposed to play it. It's like you have a roadmap that you're following. Now, this music is beautiful. Yes, yes, yes. And it's wonderfully created art by the composer. The composer dictates which instrument plays which part, which note, who has the melody, who has the harmony. And there is no straying from those notes. I also see organized religion in this same way. A governing body has interpreted the ancient text, added laws and dogmas to follow, and you're not allowed to stray from those laws. There is no you in it, per se. In improvised jazz, this allows freedom. Yes, there is a structure, there is a path, but the musician is free to play around with the melody, to go off the path and come back on. The structure is a foundation to keep the music from completely falling apart. But each musician creates the piece together. There is no one composer. The one is everyone. Some see God as a composer. Each person plays a specific part designed by God. Play what is written. You must follow God's strict law. There is no creativity in that. And we are creative beings. In Unity, we teach that we are co-creators with the divine. We share in the creativity. Some may find improvised jazz to be chaotic and just a bunch of noise. But perhaps the untrained ear cannot hear the intricate chords, how the dissonance plays with emotions and creates tensions. And the resolve is like a huge release. But sometimes there is no resolve. And isn't that like life? So Donald Miller, in his book, Blue Like Jazz, Non-Religious Thoughts on Christian Spirituality, he wrote, I never liked jazz music because jazz music doesn't resolve. But I was outside the Baghdad Theater in Portland one night when I saw a man playing a saxophone. I stood there for 15 minutes, and he never opened his eyes. After that, I liked jazz music. Sometimes you have to watch somebody love something before you can love it yourself. It's as if they are showing you the way. I used to not like God because God didn't resolve. But that was before any of this happened. Cathy, if you want to come up and grab your violin for a minute. I'm going to talk about an experience that I had this morning. So this morning I was walking Max, our dog, and I was walking him, and the birds were chirping. I have an app on my phone that you can record it, and it listens, and it tells you what birds you're hearing. So we have a plethora. We are rich with house sparrows and song sparrows and North American robins and today I got a Nashville warbler. It was the first time I gotten one of those. The birds were singing there were so many, and they were singing so loudly. And in the distance, not the far off distance, but in the distance, there was a train going through and blowing its horn. And I was really surprised. I thought I heard a mourning dove. Because mourning doves are they just have that nice mellow, I always thought they were owls, but they're not. It's a mourning dove. And I heard it, and the app heard it too, and I was really surprised because the train was so loud. But it was able to filter all of that through, and I was amazed that the app could actually get that. And then I stopped in my tracks because there was this tree, and it was almost fully, the leaves were almost fully open. And it made me look around. And I was like, the grass is so green. This Japanese maple up here is just gorgeous. It has burgundy leaves and they're fully opened. And there are other trees. The leaves are coming. And I felt big. I read about a meditation practice earlier in this week, and it asks you to go into meditation and visualize yourself walking through nature. And as you're walking through the nature, make yourself feel bigger and bigger, and keep expanding and expanding, because we are all connected, right? We are all connected. So I invite you to close your eyes. Okay, close your eyes. See if you can just realize that you are one with God, right? Take deep breaths in. Take a deep breath in. Feeling that expansion, that connection with the entire universe. And bring yourselves back into the room, but keep the feeling of being big and connected. Thank you, Cathy. So unity is a positive path for spiritual living. So unity is universal presence. We recited this earlier today. There is one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God, the good, omnipotent. So if God is everywhere and is in everything, and that is in all people, then everyone belongs. Everyone is included. Naturally good. We are inherently created in the image and likeness of the divine, empowered with the qualities and attributes of spirit. We accept this not only for ourselves, but for all people. Inner peace. We create our life experiences by what we choose to think and feel and believe. Our consciousness is cause. We use the power of zeal and enthusiasm to create our life experiences. Transformation. Through the power of affirmative prayer, we connect with Father, Mother, God, Spirit, and co-create good in life. We pay attention. We pay attention to the guideposts and the angels that are there. They are the answered prayers. Yes, God. Understanding and living these truths is not enough. We make a positive difference in our lives and in the world by taking these steps. This is commitment. By saying yes to the divine, we are committing ourselves to living these spiritual truths. So we can use unity as our roadmap, our foundation. It is within this foundation that we get to create a beautiful life. For some, jazz music is chaos, and they need the structure of the written notes. Some folks need the structure of organized religion, and that is good when it is of God. Cathy was able to play freely. I had music in front of my face. I was improvising from it, but I needed that structure in front of me in order to do it. But I was still able to use it and do that. We were listening closely to each other, complimenting, giving and take as we went through. Jazz isn't easy. It can be very difficult, especially if those that you are playing with aren't paying attention. When improvising in a jam session, each player gets their chance to stand out and has the duty of supporting everyone else. Like we do. We have the opportunity to shine, but we also have the duty to be supportive of others. It takes practice. And like jazz, unity takes practice. What unity is a spiritual practice. This week I watched a 15-minute video of a man, Ted DeMaison, talking about improvisation as a spiritual practice. It was funny. I realized I was listening to it because he was at a Applied Improv Network conference in 2015 in Toronto. Ed was in the room when it was this. So I was watching a video of this thing that he had seen and told me about, and I was like, oh, this is the same guy. But he was talking about spiritual practice, and he defined spiritual as the whole person practice of awakening, feeling, and expressing a connection to the larger mystery. And practice is when you come back to be better. You keep coming back to be better. And we can do this by exercising an ethic move through the world. So we do things deliberately. We take unity principles and we take those out into the world and we use them. You can think of it as work, but you can also think of it as divine play. You take a situation where you're finding the dissonance and you don't like that dissonance, play with it. Resolve it using your tools of unity. Use mindfulness by paying attention on purpose, right? Pay attention on purpose. When we're purposely paying attention and being mindful, we approach the world more open-heartedly. And remember, we're all interconnected. Like I was this morning with the birds and the trees and the grass and the train. We're all interconnected. Cathy and I were interconnected as we were playing together. The Hindus describe that through what is called Indra's net, big net across the universe, and that every intersection is a jewel, and we are all those jewels, and we're reflecting light, and we're reflecting each other. So remember, we are all interconnected, and we're just reflections of everything around us. Integrate your shadow. We don't like our shadows. We try to stuff our shadows down. When we stuff our shadows down, bad things can happen. But when we integrate our shadow into our life, we're aware of it. We're aware of that dissonance. Allow the dissonance to be there. It could be the way you feel on the inside. Allow that dissonance to be there and use your tools to resolve it. Don't shove it back in. And then we live in a paradox. It's yes and. It's an improv term, yes and. I used it in Unity as yes, God, same thing. We're spiritual beings, right? And we're having a human experience. Spiritual beings having a human experience. When we're aware of that and we use our unity tools with prayer and meditation, we bring those together. We're both and. We are both spiritual beings and human. And when we do that, we are in direct contact with creativity. So we're all jazz musicians playing in a jam session. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. It's the same. Louis Armstrong said, "What we play is life." That's the human experience, right? I think Cathy exudes that when she plays. She exudes life when she plays, because that's what she's playing. She's playing love. She's playing life. Miles Davis, don't play what's there, play what's not there. I see that as an invitation to manifest, right? Manifest what you want. Be it. Play the notes that aren't there. Be what you want. John Coltrane said, "You can play a shoestring if you're sincere." Right? I'll just leave that one alone. Ella Fitzgerald, just don't give up trying to do what you really want to do. That's commitment. That's unity principle number 5. Live these truths. Sonny Rollins wrote, "Jazz is the type of music that can absorb so many things and still be jazz." Unity follows a golden thread of spiritual truths in all faith traditions. It's still unity. It's always unity. Herbie Hancock wrote, "It's not exclusive, but inclusive. which is the whole spirit of jazz. So enjoy this spiritual jam session that we call a human experience. I invite you to make unity your daily spiritual practice, using the principles of unity with your whole person. You can awaken to your full potential. Feel your connection with the divine. It is everywhere. It is in everything. You are a unique expression of the divine. Find inner peace by choosing what you think and believe. Pray, meditate, and pay attention to those guideposts that have been put before you to show you, yes, you are on this right path. You are on this path to freedom. Say, yes, God. Surrender to the divine. Commit to living these principles. Unity. This is your path to freedom. And so it is. Thank you.